Hi guys, a nice easy one again today. I said I was going to veer away from stones for a little while, but I just can't help myself. Um, there's a little bit of a story behind this one. I was aiming to make what they call a spiny oyster turquoise, and I am going with those colours that are in that stone, but when I made it, the colours didn't come out as bright as they would in the real stone. But, again, a big but, I liked it like that, the more muted look of it. So, I'm not sure what to call it. Let's just go with a faux turquoise my way. I don't know. It's just a faux stone, okay? And all you're going to need is, I've got a whole block of Premo translucent here, cut into 4 equal parts. I've grabbed some antique gold. We're probably going to use about this much. It's just a smallish ball. We're going to need a tiny little bit of white clay as well. And I'm also going to be using turquoise alcohol ink and an orange alcohol ink. I have got these Picasso alcohols, as you probably already know from my last video, but the orange didn't work so well, so I'm going with a different brand of alcohol ink, but anything that's orange, that's fine. You'll also need a couple of brushes, blade, some gold leaf, some white mica powder or pearl mica powder, and some black liquid clay. So it is really a simple chippy choppy style, but it's all about how you use the colours, etc. And like I say, I'm not going with the exact depth of colour that you would see in an oyster turquoise. So if you wanted to make it look more that way, then you would just need to make the colours a little darker, but I'm just keeping it how I did it before. So first thing then, I'm just going to take one piece of the translucent, give it a roll, and I'm taking my turquoise alcohol ink, and I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little drops like that. That's all I'm doing. Now the other thing you could do if you wanted to get a more realistic spiny oyster turquoise, which is a bit of a mouthful to say, you could do the exact same thing as I'm doing it, but instead of using alcohol ink, just use some clay instead, so turquoise clay, and of course you could make it the colour more vibrant or darker. But like I say, I'm going with how it turned out when I tried it the first time, and I liked it, so I'm keeping it that way. So just brush it on and let it sit so it can dry. I'm just going to get my alcohol and just clean my brush off a little bit. Get my next piece of trans clay, give that a roll. Actually, I'm not going to use as much orange, so I'm just going to take a little bit off that. Not much, just a little bit. And the same thing, I'm going to get my orange alcohol ink and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish drops. I'm not being overly precise. Oops, that's still dirty. It's typical. Made it go brown. Let me just clean it off, guys, a little bit better than that. Okay, and then just paint that over the clay and let that sit so it's dry, until it's dry. Okay, so that's those two pieces. Let's clean this off again. Okay, so there's those two little pieces. and that's basically what makes up most of the colour within the piece. Let me think what I want to do next. Oh yeah, and I'm keeping one piece of trans as is, no colour to it. And then I'm going to take my other piece of trans, the one that I've got left over, and I'm going to add a good pea size of the white clay. Alright, and that's going to get mixed together. So actually, while these are drying, I might as well just do the other little pieces. So we've got the turquoise, we've got the orange, we've got the white, and they're all going to be mixed so they become, you know, a colour. And then we've got this one strip of translucent, which is just going to get chippy chopped up. Now with the oyster turquoise, the pieces are quite chunky, so I'm going to keep it quite chunky. So there's that little pile ready to go, and the same with the gold. Just nice chunky angular pieces. Don't want them too rounded or anything. It's alright if there's a few smaller pieces as well, but largely I want to keep them fairly chunky, like so. Maybe just cut that one a little bit. So that's those piles. And then obviously I'm just going to go off camera and mix all these together. So I'm going to go and do that. So that's going to get mixed. This is going to get mixed, but actually I'll do it this way. I'm just going to take one small section of that and I'm going to mix it, but I'm not going to mix it thoroughly. This will get mixed thoroughly. Same with the orange, just take a little piece off, mix but not mixed thoroughly, and this will be mixed thoroughly, and the white in the trans will also be mixed thoroughly. Alright, so when I've done that, I'll be back. Alright, so I've mixed the white into the trans and given that a thorough mix, but I think I'm just going to take a little bit away because I think there's a little bit too much. So that's the white in trans, and I'm just going to roll it up and then just into a rough sausage, like so. Okay, now this is the orange thoroughly mixed, this is the orange not thoroughly mixed. Same thing, just roll up into a ball and then into a sausage. Just very roughly. Same with the orange, thoroughly mixed. Little sausage or little log. And then this is the turquoise, thoroughly mixed. Same thing. Give it a roll. Roll it into a little log like so. And the same with the turquoise that hasn't been thoroughly mixed. Same thing. Because all we're going to do now is chop it all up. So it is basically chippy choppy. I'm just hoping it turns out as nice as the first time I did it. It's like, well, okay, it doesn't quite look like oyster turquoise. The colours aren't strong enough, but I liked it, so people have asked me if I would do it, so here we go. Alright, so we've already chopped our little block of trans, we've already chopped our gold, now I just need to chop the rest. And again, these can be a little bit smaller but still fairly chunky and angular. Again, we don't want the pieces to be too rounded. Just have a few little pieces in there as well. I'm going to gauge whether I want all this white. I'm wondering if it might be a little bit too much, but because I don't want it to take over the piece, and there might even be a bit too much trans, but I just wanted to get a whole block out, and it's just easier to gauge things that way. We'll see. Then this log, again fairly chunky. Like so. That one's a little bit rounded. Just chop that a little bit. We could always go back and chop again anyway. And then the not mixed thoroughly turquoise log. These can be a little bit smaller. So there's that little pile. And the orange. Again, fairly chunky. And then the orange that hasn't been thoroughly mixed. So we've got all these little piles going on. I'm making that a little bit smaller, as you can tell. So we've got all these little piles going on. I'm just going to try and keep them separate for now, although they are just going to get all mixed together. But take your pearl mica powder, and you don't need a lot. This is really just to help separate the pieces. We don't want that mica to be a prominent feature. So I'm just brushing a little bit on each pile. I put a little bit too much on there, so I'm just dragging that over and putting it on there. Same on all the pieces. You can put a little bit more on the turquoise pile, but the other colours just a little dab, like so. Just get that over there for now. Same with the trans. Oops. Just brush some on quickly, and then a little bit on there and a little bit on there. Alright, so we just did a little bit of that, and then we're just going to tumble each pile. I'm trying to make room, guys, so I don't go off camera. I'm in squashed space. So take each pile, give it a tumble, and this is where you can kind of gauge whether you want to make the pieces a little bit smaller. I think I will give it just another very quick chop, like so. So there's that pile, ready to go. Same with this pile, just doing the exact same thing with all the piles. Just giving them a little bit of a coat so they don't stick together in a big clump. So that's why you put the coat of mica powder on there. I mean, if you wanted to, you could perhaps just use a turquoise mica powder. Trans. Oops. I'm thinking I'm just going to take a few pieces away of the trans, just a little bit. There's too much there. But again, it's all on you. You might want more translucency in there. I don't know. Okay, I'm just giving this another chop. There's that pile. I'm keeping these gold pieces this big, I think. Yeah. Oops. I don't really know why I'm getting overly concerned that they're getting mixed, because they're going to get thrown together anyway. I'm just going to do a couple of little chops in this one. And then this one's just a tiny bit, so I'm not too bothered. Alright, that's it. We've just got to start putting them together. So get your liquid clay, black liquid clay. Ooh. Not quite sure why I did it like that. I should just really just tumble it all together. Oh my gosh, durr. And then just tumble it all together. You could have just done that and then put the liquid clay. I'm a little bit distracted today, guys. I've got like a few things going on, and I don't know. I'm not going to go into details, but I am a little distracted. Okay, so this is where I get messy because no, I don't wear gloves. I don't want to wear gloves. I much prefer to feel what I'm doing, but of course it means I get into a sticky mess. So I'm just going to wipe up a little bit, not too much, because there's no point at this stage. Now for the gold leaf. I don't want a great deal of this in here, just a little fleck here and there. And I should have dried my hands off. Now it's sticking to me. Oh dear. Just a little bit more. Just throw it on there. I'm just going to take a tiny bit more. Okay. And let's mix it all up and start pushing it together. So you can see it's just a simple chippy choppy, but you are being a little bit more precise about the colours and how much colour to get the look that I'm going for at this point. It's not just a case of just throw it all together. Yeah, I'm rambling. So I'm just forming it into a block. Getting it nicely squished together. Squishy squashy, the chippy choppy, as I like to say. And I just do that several times, guys, just to make sure it's nicely compressed all the way over it, all the way around it. I'm actually going to leave it more of an oblong than a square. Okay, so when you're happy that's all nicely compressed into a grey looking block, just give everything a bit of a clean. A bit there stained. Okay, clean the desk, clean my hands, because actually they're not too bad, although I've got some in my nails now, but oh well, I'll deal with those later. I know people don't like looking at dirty fingernails, but I've literally just got them dirty. I don't walk around with dirty nails all the time. Just saying. Dry this off. Dry my hands off and get my block. Okay. Now of course you're going to need cutters of your choice. I'm going with this one that I got from Oh Joy Creations. I asked her if she could make me one this shape, and she did. And she's actually called it Deb's Stone Cutter. So I will leave a link to her shop, her website, and if you want to buy it, it's there. And I think she's done some smaller ones as well, and a mirror image, so you can do earrings with it. But I just wanted this one. This is a 2-inch size, by the way. Alright, so when you're ready to cut, I'm going to take a fairly thick piece and slice down. And you can see it really is. I mean, there are some smaller pieces in there, but for the most part it's quite chunky, which is what you want for this stone. Okay. And I'm just going to get my New roller. Ta-da! No nasty bits in it anymore. I'm going to try my hardest not to get alcohol on it, so it doesn't eat it away again like last time. But can't promise anything because I am a little bit careless. So just take the slice that you want for the size of your cutter and give it a roll. Now, I don't want to put it through the pasta machine because I don't want to stretch it too much, but if you're concerned about whether that's getting it really level or not, you can just get some of these little lolly sticks. These came, actually I don't know what these came with. It was I think it was a thing of resin, and I got these with it. I can't remember now. I don't use them very often, but if you want them to be, you want to make sure that your piece is level, then you can just do that, and one thickness of them is fine, because you don't want it to be I don't know what I'm talking about. Just do that. Alright, I just want to see what's going on with this bit here. I think that'll be okay. I'll just wipe it off with some alcohol. I always like to give it a quick clean anyway, just to get some of that black residue from the liquid clay off the surface. Now, you're probably wondering why I use liquid clay and not paint. Well, two reasons. I don't like painting clay. I mean, I have used it on occasion when I haven't had much choice but to use it. But you've got to be careful with acrylic painting clay. It can weaken the clay if you put too much in. That's one reason. The second reason is I didn't want a very strong black line, and the liquid clay just gives a faint black vein. So that's really why, guys. I was hoping for a little bit more gold in this, but I think that's probably good. So I'm just going to take my acrylic block, give it a push down and a bit of a wiggle. Make sure it's gone all the way through. I'm hoping this comes out as one clean cut. I mean, it is a bit of an awkward shape, and sometimes the clay can stick a little bit, but it's been pretty good so far. So I'm just going to lift this out, remove excess, and it's done a pretty good job. So I'm just going to carefully lift this, and that's pretty much it. And it has stuck a little bit there, look. I need my X-Acto knife for this. It didn't cut all the way through. Not to worry. I'm trying not to ruin that nice point just here. This is going to get a good sand around the edges once it's baked anyway. So I'm just going to remove that excess that's got stuck, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Try and get this piece out without, there we go. Alright, so there we go. Now of course I've got a block left, quite a bit of the block left, so I can make some more, but I'm just going to show you this one. So obviously I'm going to go and bake this. When it's baked, I'm going to thoroughly sand the edges, and then I'll be back. Or shall I do another pendant? What do you think, guys? Yeah, why not? Why not? I've got some time. There's no rush. I know you don't really need to see it because I'm doing the exact same thing, but why not? I might as well just do something else with it, but I've still got all this left. So I'm going to pick which side I want. I want a little bit more gold, so I'm going to go this side where there's more gold, and just again, once again, roll it out. I'm going to get my sticks. That way I know it's even and level. Okay, give it a clean. So let me think. I've got some more Joy creation cutters here, so I think I'm going to use them, and I'm going to use, oops, I dropped my cloth. I feel really jittery today, guys. I do apologise if I'm rushing this or talking too fast or something, but I don't know, I just feel a bit jittery. I'm just going to stretch this out just a little bit more to make sure I can get all of my cutters on there. Hopefully I can. I'm just going to cut this. So we've got a pendant in this shape, and let's do a little pair of earrings. It's a matching set, so that'll look nice. Give it a little wiggle, make sure it's gone all the way through, and the same with this one. Okay, I think that's all I'll do. Like, as you know, I've got a little bit more of the block left, but I'll make something else with that off camera. So I've got my spiral, which obviously needs tidying up around the edges, but like I say, I'm going to sand it. So there's that one, and then obviously I've got these little pieces here as well, which make a very nice little matching set. So I'm going to go and bake these. Make sure they're nicely sanded on the edges, and then I'm going to resin them. Alright guys, so once I've done that, I'll be back. Okay guys, it's finished. So there's the finished piece, and I love it. And as you can see, it doesn't really look like the turquoise that I was going for, but I decided to keep it this way just because I like it. So it's just a stone-like piece, no particular name given. Alright, so I sanded the edges so they're nice and smooth, and then I resined it, and pinch bail and cord as usual. I like to keep it simple. These pinch bails and cords are in my Amazon storefront link left in the description. Here's the other one that I did, same thing, and again these pinch bails are also in the link in the description. And then obviously the little matching earrings that I did to go with that, so that's a cute little set. And I just added some hoops, again in the description. And then I did another pair of earrings as well. I absolutely love these cutters. I got these from Joy Creations. Again, I will leave her link as well. But there's those earrings too. And what did I do with the other piece that I did? Oh my gosh, I can't find it. Anyway, I did do another piece, and it was a heart shape. If I find it, I will leave a picture. I don't know what the heck I did with it, guys. Anyway, that's fine, no worries. They're the pieces. Hope you enjoyed that, and have a great weekend, guys. I'll catch you later. Bye.